Mina Valentine, romance novels. Mina, how are you? Here we go.
Oh,
It's Women's Month, right? So you wanted to kind of share.
yeah, but where did my little guy go? I had a little. Oh, here he is. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yes, and I'm the world's tallest leprechaun.
That's funny. I, I'm the tallest female leprechaun.
All right, so let's kind of talk about women in
Yeah,
this theme for this podcast today.
yeah. I think if women today think they're subjugated to a lot of strife, things are unfair. They really should read up on their history because most of, if you're from the English, uh, if you're from England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and some of those countries still haven't gotten rid of their misogyny, but um, in the late 1700s, a woman wouldn't even think about uh, trying to be able to vote or do the suffrage thing. They wouldn't have done that then. It never came into their mind. Now they did like to participate in politics, but it was very covert. They liked to read about it, know what was going on, and if they were married or had a father or brother, they would try to influence their vote. But a man couldn't even vote back then unless A, he owned property, or B, he owned a business that made over, I think it was like 10 pounds a year or something like that. But women, they never, their job in life was to marry well and have children. And the aristocracy, they tried to keep their aristocracy fed. They kept their lines going, and so they would intermarry. But a lot of times, the couple might not have even liked each other, and they got married. A lot of these couples were betrothed while they were still in a crib, which is insane. But yeah, women didn't have a whole lot of rights. They there were blue bloods, uh, or blue stockings, they called them. Blue stockings were women that were bookworms, more or less. Um, but there weren't very many of them, and they had to be from a really high up in the aristocracy so they wouldn't be belittled. Otherwise, they'd be made fun of. Women wearing pants. You read about that in some of the novels where the girl wears pants. No, no, that no. Um, um, they I read somewhere when I was reading about the history, because it's Women's Month, um, and the author said that horses had more rights than women. Um, that we were just chattel. Um, a father could lock her up, uh, put her in a sane asylum, basically starve her to death. Um, they passed something in 1757 that said that women had the right to decide if they wanted who they wanted to marry, but they still didn't get to because his father would say, "You're marrying him." And if she said no, well then you're going to stay in that room without any food or water until you agree. So, I mean, women were not treated, if they were married and they were from the aristocracy, they could live as well as anybody could during that time period. But looking back on it from a woman's perspective today, pretty well sucked. You know, and we romanticize that, but the clothes they wore, you couldn't even show your ankles, for gosh sake. Oh, how do you get in and out of a coach without showing your ankles? I don't know. It's the dumbest thing ever. But women, they didn't know any better.
Yeah. And then that time period was what time period you're talking about?
Um, okay. Well, I write, my books are around in the late 1700s, all the way in through the Regency, which is into 18 something or other. Excuse me. But before that, it was even worse.
All
Uh,
right.
but as time goes on, it gets better. There's still countries today around the world where women aren't treated very well. And then again, you look at Cleopatra. I mean,
Yeah.
she was something.
All right. The best place to go is minavalentine.com.
Yes, go to minavalentine.com or Mina Valentine on Facebook, Mina Valentine author, and
TikTok, Mina Valentine, author on TikTok.
yes,
Yay. And
TikTok.
that's gotta be fun as you're gonna be doing live streams very, very soon.
Oh, I am. And my book 3, I'm sorry, people. It's just been a cluster trying to get it up on Amazon, and that's all I can say. But hopefully, you'll see it up next week. And I think I've been telling you people that for
I
months.
wouldn't worry about it because we're looking at Ingram Spark and people need to hear. You might be able to read it on TikTok next week. We're
Yes.
going to celebrate once she gets to 100 followers already on TikTok. She's already at 60 plus. If I did the quick update right now, how many followers does she have on TikTok? 64 followers. So I think by tomorrow morning, you'll be at 100. So we'll see. All right.
Yes.
Appreciate it, Vina.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Happy